Good evening, Messiah, and welcome back to Falcon Update on YBTV. I'm Josh McLean.
And I'm Rosie Schiano. Josh, long time no see. How was your day?
I mean, really great. I mean, Mondays for me are always full of YBTV prep, and just to come in here every week and put on a show with so many fantastic people, it really always makes for a really great start to the week.
I love that for you. Yes. Yeah, I have to agree, Mondays are very busy, but I think this one is going to be a good show.
Absolutely. It's very rewarding.
It is.
And we'll get right into it. Very exciting news. SGA and SAB are teaming up to bring a pre-COVID Messiah tradition back to campus. For the first time since 2019, students will be able to nominate up to 5 senior men and 5 senior women for homecoming court. Students can vote by filling out the Google form sent in a mass email from SAB this morning. The nominees will be announced at the SAB homecoming dance this Saturday on September 30th. After court is announced, students will then choose 1 man and 1 woman from the top 5 selected to be Messiah's homecoming king and queen. Rosie Schiano sat down with representatives of SAB and SGA to learn more.
The idea of homecoming court is also just the idea that one day we're going to be the ones who are coming back to this campus as, oh wow, I was an alumni here. Oh wow, I remember when they did this back in my day. So it's kind of encouraging that idea, and then so that whenever we come back, we're like, oh yeah, we had homecoming. This person became homecoming, was a part of the homecoming court. They served the campus through this way. They impacted my life this way. So it's kind of like really what Cindy was saying, in what ways have these individuals, like maybe ways that we aren't even aware of how they have impacted certain individuals' lives, and that's just like a way of recognizing for them for it.
The homecoming court winners will be announced by a special guest during the halftime of the women's soccer game.
Things weren't rough or pawful at the Harbor House this week as they hosted their Totally Pawsome Pups and Profs event. A time for students to relax and hang out with their favorite professors and some fuzzy and ferocious 4-legged friends.
We really love Pups and Profs. It's just a great way for professors and students to connect in just a very casual way. I mean, who doesn't love dogs and who doesn't love food and connections?
Events just like these all year long, so stay tuned to YBTV to stay updated.
Rosie, you're a smart person, otherwise you wouldn't be up here anchoring with me, but I think I've got something here that might stump you. Okay. So what do Shakespeare, the Barbie movie soundtrack, and Iran all have in common?
I don't know. You definitely have me stumped on this one. Hit me.
Well, they were all question topics featured in Murray Library's Trivia Night this past Friday. Participants came together in teams of up to 6 and competed in 4 rounds of 10 questions around categories like sports, literature, and film. The team that finished with the most points walked away with the top prize, Amazon gift cards. While the library staff hope the Trivia Night reminds students that the library is more than just a place for studying, Messiah students aren't the only ones who are welcome to participate.
We open it up for anybody. It's not just students. So anybody on campus wants to come and join us, please do in the spring. Anybody who wants to come and play trivia with us, they should come.
Murray Library hosts trivia nights every semester, so keep an eye out for their next round in the spring.
It's rare that we get to cover events happening off campus, but Reed Milliken got the story on Todd Allen's special conversation at Midtown Scholar Bookstore. Let's see it, Reed.
Messiah's Vice President of Diversity Affairs, Todd Allen, joined Todd Mealy, a local author and historian at Midtown Scholar in Harrisburg this past Wednesday to discuss his new book, Shades of Brown.
Todd Mealy and I met probably within the first couple of months of me being here. Read an article about this teacher who was teaching a phenomenal class on race, class, and gender. We just hit it off from day one and have been very close since that time.
Shades of Brown takes an in-depth look into the personal and professional life of diversity educator Jane Elliott, a story that has otherwise gone unacknowledged.
First of all, I was shocked to find out that there had not been some definitive biography written on her. In fact, nothing until Todd's book has looked at the full scope of her life professionally as well as personally.
Attendees were able to engage with Mealy by asking questions, as well as purchase a copy of Shades of Brown for Mealy to autograph.
Todd is that next generation of educators. I think the kind of educators that Jane would say that we need. So I know it makes her heart so glad, not just because there's a book out there about her, but that it's written by someone who is what she hoped educators would be.
For YBTV, I'm Reed Milliken.
Thanks, Reed. That package was totally tubular.
The rain couldn't stop Messiah students from kicking off fall at the annual Fall Fest on Saturday. Students gathered in the Union to participate in a variety of fall-themed activities organized by SAB. From pumpkin carving to live music, there was something for everyone to enjoy.
Josh, I don't know about you, but I love fall. Only because, well, for many reasons, but I get to bring out all of my sweaters. And I am a big fan of sweaters. I just like being cozy and just, it's almost like having a blanket wrapped around you all day.
That's true. I agree, because I also think I look better in sweaters than I do just in normal t-shirts and stuff like that. So call me vain, but I mean, fall really is just a vibe with the hot drinks, the corn mazes, pumpkin patches, all those fun fall activities that you get to do around that time with friends, loved ones, whatever. It really just is a great time of year.
It's a great time. I don't think it gets much better than fall.
I agree. But speaking of fall, they'll fall out on us. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Falcon Update. I'm Josh McLeaf.
And I'm Rosie Schiano. Josh, if you're sitting right next to me, who is doing weather?
You know, Rosie, it is hard to replace perfection, but I have faith that Jessica Fannin will come through for us on this one, so let's see it, Jess.
Thank you, Rosie and Josh. It is so nice to see your faces at the desk tonight. Let's take a look at this week's Falcon forecast. So right now we are sitting at about 64 degrees with some overcast. We're still experiencing some of that dreary weather from the weekend. Today's high was at 68 degrees and our low will be at 51. We had some rainfall today, a little bit of showers. Our dew point is about 55. So let's take a look at this week's surface map. So as you can see, we have a lot of fronts moving across the United States right now, or this week. Let me break it down for you. So right now we have some rain sitting above us, but we can expect that to move to the west. We will have a front that will push that further to the west. However, there will be a front that will bring some mixed weather up from the south. So we will see some rises in the temperature this week, along with some scattered rain showers. So let's take a look at our rainfall this week. So as you can see, there's a lot of green on this map. That just indicates that there's going to be some rain throughout the majority of PA. Unfortunately, we are in that lower region of the map, which means that we're going to be experiencing about 2 inches of rain. But like I said, that front is expected to push that further to the west. The only thing to really be looking out for this week is for any rain puddles on the road or any poor drainage areas, just some slipperiness going on. But let's move on and take a look at Tuesday. Oh, never mind. Let's take a look at dew point. So this week's dew point is around 57 to 50, which is just a nice range to be in because we like to see our dew points below 60, which just means that we're going to have nice crisp air and it's just going to be nice to be outside and be moving around. It won't be so hot. So now let's take a closer look at Tuesday. So here's what Tuesday looks for us. We have some rain forecasted earlier in the day. We're going to start at about 58 to 59 degrees, and throughout the day, we're going to see it rise up to about 64 degrees. We're still going to experience that overcast that we've had throughout the week, but that is what Tuesday is going to look for us. Let's take a look at the whole week. So this is what our whole week looks like. On Tuesday, like I said, we're going to have some overcast with a high of 64 and a low of 52. We can, however, look forward to Wednesday because the sun will be paying us a visit. There will be a high of 64 and a low of 49. We are starting to see those fall temperatures creep in with that lower temperature at night. Thursday is much like Wednesday, however, there is a little bit of rain forecasted for Thursday, a very slight chance, about 30%, but the sun will be paying us a visit with a high of 66 and a low of 53. Friday is expected to have some rain. There is a forecast between 40% to 50% chance of rain with a high of 69 and a low of 53. And beautiful Saturday. We can look forward to Saturday because the sun is here to stay. There is no rain forecasted for Saturday with a nice high of 70 degrees, which is, in my opinion, a great temperature to get outside and do whatever you want with a low of 52. Sunday is much like Saturday. The sun will be out with a high of 72 and a low of 61. So like I said, guys, this week is going to have a mixture of weather, and I know we're getting to that point in the semester where our textbooks just never seem to close. So please take some time for yourself this weekend. Get outside and enjoy that sun. That's it for this week's Falcon forecast. Sending it back to you, Rosie and Josh.
You killed that, Jess. Man, I just love hearing about those dew points.
Oh, me too. And speaking of dew, it's due time we hear about what's going on around campus, and Julia Kropp has this week's campus calendar. Julia.
Hello everybody, I'm Julia Kropp and welcome to this week's edition of Campus Calendar. We've got a lot going on campus. Let's take a look at some of the events that are happening this week. On Tuesday night, the Agape Center is having a Fall 2023 off-campus recruitment fair where students can go and see what ways they can get connected in the community all semester long. The event will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Eisenhower Campus Center. On Friday, ASA and ISA are holding a Harvest Moon Festival on Bittner Beach, starting at 7 p.m. to spend time together and talk about tradition. Bring your own blankets and mugs. Saturday morning at 9, SAB is having outdoor yoga on Bittner Beach to relax and enjoy the fall air. And finally, for the first time since COVID, SAB and CGA will have their annual homecoming dance from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Brubaker Auditorium. The event is free for all students. Here, homecoming court will be announced. And that is all for this week's edition of Campus Calendar. I'll be at the dance dancing the night away, and I hope to see you there, as well as at some of the other events. For YBTV, I'm Julia Kropp.
Thanks, Julia. I don't know about you, Josh, but I cannot wait until fall break.
Neither can I. I'm very excited. I'm going down to Florida for a few days.
Florida?
Yes, it should be a good time. Rosie, how about yourself? What are you up to?
I will be making money that I'm not making right now. So I think I will be, my family owns a restaurant.
Okay.
So I will be waiting tables left and right.
That's fantastic. And now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited would you say you are for that experience?
You know, I am just excited to have the money in my pocket. So let's give it about a solid 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm asking you this because that's just a question that Kaya asked on this week's Falcon on the Street. Let's see it, Kaya.
Welcome back to Falcon on the Street. I'm Kaya Hakeem, and today we decided to go around and ask Messiah students just how excited they are for fall break on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's take a look.
I'd say a solid 8.
I'd say about a 9. I'm pretty excited.
7.
About a 9. Pretty excited to have a little bit more free time to catch up on homework, time to relax a little bit more.
Yeah, so education majors actually don't have fall break, so maybe Thanksgiving. I'm excited for Thanksgiving.
Like an 8 out of 10. I don't know, I get to go home and be with my dogs and family, so yeah.
I'm actually really excited for break and to kind of get away from assignments, so I would say a 10.
This semester especially has been very stressful, so I'm really looking forward to going home, taking a break, just getting away from school for a little bit, and
I'm very excited for fall break. Classes have been hard, have many exams. Excited to see my family again and go back home.
Cool. I'm really excited for fall break. It's about a 7 out of 10. I can't wait to go home and yeah.
I'd say like a 9 out of 10 because I'm going to be here for basketball, so yay.
Those are some pretty solid answers from our fellow Falcons. Personally, my excitement level's at about a 10, but that's all for this week's Falcon on the Street. For YBTV, I'm Kaya Hakeem.
With homecoming festivities coming up, this week Kelly Gainey took a look at homecomings past. Kelly?
Welcome back to the Vault, where I unlock Messiah's history 1 week at a time. I'm your host, Kelly Gainey. There's been a lot of buzz surrounding homecoming on campus this year, so I thought, why not check out the yearbooks to see what homecoming looked like in years past? Coming home to Messiah has always been part of the school's history. The earliest homecoming is noted in 1913 for the first graduated class of 12 to come back to campus. Later, the tradition turned into a much bigger celebration with new themes each year. In the 70s, floats were made and students got very creative with them. Instead of court, there would be a nominated group of students, 2 from each class, to win host and hostess of homecoming. The teams of 2 would gather their classmates to create a float for their class. By the end of the week, the winning pair would be named and get to ride on the front float, or later, a Corvette. In the 80s, floats got bigger. Concerts, carnivals, and bonfires by the beaches were added to the tradition, and the 90s brought pep rallies, barbecue picnics, and the 2000s, most of these traditions stayed throughout the entire time, but slowly would die off later around 2016. It will be interesting to see what traditions reemerge this year and which ones will fade into the yearbooks. That's all for me this week. Make sure to tune in next time for when I unlock the vault.
Thanks, Kelly. That was great. Rosie, can we expect to see you on the homecoming court? What do you think?
Well, since I'm not a senior this year, I'm going to
that's
say no.
Yeah.
But your name is definitely going to be on my ballot.
Making me blush on the air, Rosie. I don't know about that. But hey, with that, I'm afraid our time is up.
That's right, Josh. Up next, Brandon and Emma will deliver you sports. We'll be right back after the break.
A student would want to study the finance major here at Messiah for several reasons. Students here are working and practicing in a setting in our finance lab with technology that they're going to use when they leave here and work in the field. And so our students are certified in Bloomberg. In addition, in several classes, our students are actually performing consulting projects with local financial and investing firms.
I think the biggest thing that surprised me about coming for the finance major here was just the scope that you get in all the different classes. So anything from corporate finance to portfolio management and security analysis, you touch on everything. Getting into investment club was something I really was looking forward to coming here to Messiah. I knew from very early on I wanted to get involved.
There's nothing wrong with going out, being successful, making money, but not allowing money to have a higher place in your life than God. So our goal is to get our students started off on their career path quicker and better positioned than any of their peers.
Welcome to YBTV Sports. I'm Brandon Cruz.
And I'm Emma Dingus. We're here to bring you scores, highlights, and stories from Messiah Athletics over the past week.
Field hockey split a pair of tightly contested games last week. The Falcons lost to John Hopkins in overtime by a score of 2-1 on Wednesday, with junior Carey Bear scoring the lone goal. Messiah would bounce back on Saturday, beating the Herons of William Smith by a score of 3-2. The Falcons are back in action on Wednesday at home, where they will face Rowan University.
Both the men and women's cross-country team competed in the Lock Haven University Invitational on Sunday. The men's team placed 7th overall in a field of 37 that include multiple Division I and II schools, while the women's team finished 18th overall. Both teams will next meet is October 7th when they compete in the Dickinson Pre-Nationals.
Emma, do you know what time it is?
I think I do, Brandon. It's time for this week's edition of Falcon 4. Our first highlight comes from Shoemaker Field, where Messiah women's soccer looked to strike first against Penn State Berks. Here we have Axelson with the corner coming up and Julia Martin with the header to give the Falcons the first goal of the game. Let's take a look at that again as we see Axelson just giving it the nice height and Julia Martin following it perfectly to the goal. Typically on defense, Martin, but showing us some offensive skills in this game. The Falcons would go on to add 2 more goals to their tally later on, beating the Nittany Lions by a score of 3-0.
For our next highlight, we go to Hitchcock Arena, where Messiah women's volleyball finds themselves already down 1 set to the visiting Gettysburg Bullets and are looking to gain back some momentum. Here we have Swartz setting up Hart, who gets blocked, but Messiah's going to get it right back here. Is going to get back to Swartz, and Hart, not to be denied this time, as she absolutely annihilates that ball, as you see it here again. Yeah, there's no way Gettysburg was getting that one back. The Falcons, however, would go on to lose to the Bullets by a set count of 3-1, but they would bounce back later on in the day against Rowan University, beating them 3-0.
It's funny that you mention our win against Rowan, Brandon, because our next highlight is a kill from that same game. Here we have Messiah with the serve, sending it over. Rowan sending it back on over to the Falcons. We have Emma Schwartz with the set and Cheney Barnhart going up for the kill, and she gets it. Let's take a look at this again as Cheney Barnhart just finding the perfect spot in the court where they aren't and just delivering the excellent kill to help give the Falcons the win. That game-winning kill by Barnhart moves the Falcons to a 9-4 record on the season, and they look to add another win in that column tomorrow night against Stevenson University.
For our final highlight of the night, we go back to Shoemaker Field, where Messiah men's soccer looks to add a bit of insurance at the end of the annual Marshmallow Bowl. Here we have Messiah with the ball, looking to attack. Breaks the ankles of the E-Town defender as it goes to McDonald, and over, and back for the goal. Beautiful ball movement from Messiah as we see it again here. 1 touch, 2 touch, and Messiah, like usual, gets the goal to finish it off. E-Town would score 1 more goal in the last few minutes, but the Falcons will remain victorious by a score of 3-2, winning the Marshmallow Bowl for the second consecutive year. Emma, as far as college sports traditions go, I don't think I've ever heard of anything else like the Marshmallow Bowl.
I would have to agree with you, Brandon. The Marshmallow Bowl is a tradition like no other in college sports, and we at YBTV had the opportunity to cover the game and all the inevitable mayhem that ensued.
YBTV Sports, I'm James Hellman, and this is the Marshmallow Bowl.
How many bags of marshmallows did you come here with?
Me personally, I had 3 full bags of the big jumbo ones, and it probably took about 10 minutes to get rid of them all. That's me personally. I don't know about anybody else.
I think we bought 3 of them, but we just pick them off the ground, you know?
Same thing with me. I had like 4 bags. I just been throwing them jumps everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I got hit like 3 times on my forehead, but you know what? It's fun. It's actually really great. It's my first time, and I didn't even know you're supposed to bring your own marshmallows. And it's crazy, but you know what? It's Messiah style, so I love it.
My favorite part is the free marshmallows.
I like throwing them at people. I like throwing on the field and throwing them at people.
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah. Oh my goodness, the first years coming in are so high energy, it's crazy.
That truly is such a unique Messiah tradition. Unfortunately, that's all for YBTV Sports and Falcon Update, but don't go anywhere. YB Tonight is up next. Stick with us.
should have known this was coming. Yeah, you should have. Actually, I want to know. This would have been a problem if you guys were just to go to class for me. That's the very reason why I cloned myself. Well, guess what, genius? I am you. And I don't want to go to class either. Neither do I. Or me. Not I. That's it. I'm done. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do that. Well, at least we're here together. You could have killed us, man.
Good evening and welcome to YB Tonight. We are live from the basement of Hofstetter. I'm your host, Charlie Jones, and I'm so excited about our show tonight. First, we will have a performance by Heather Woolslagle. She will be singing one of her very own songs. After I interview Heather, Libby Gross and Noah Narvaez will sit down with me to talk about Young Life. But before we begin, let's take a look at this week's Beyond the Breaches.
Hello and welcome to this week's Beyond the Breaches. Today I'm at Derry Presbyterian Church to talk to a Messiah alum, Dan Doherty, who plays the organ. Let's go check it out.
Hi, I'm Dan Doherty. I'm the Director of Music here at Derry Presbyterian Church in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and class of 2014 at Messiah University. And one Christmas Eve, I came into church and heard the pipe organ and decided that's what I had to play. I liked that the floor shook and the church was rumbling and people were singing, and the power of the organ was almost entrancing to me.
Messiah was the place he knew he wanted to go because he knew he could keep playing the organ. Doherty was mentored by Linda Tedford, who used to be the choral director, along with Dr. Gingrich. Doherty played the organ for various events on campus, such as student chapels, organ recitals, and the orchestra, just to name a few.
Yeah, I don't know that I could do anything else. Like, music is my lifeblood. It keeps me energized, and it's the thing that feeds my soul. Playing the organ for church is so fulfilling for me. It's my own way of prayer, really, is playing and singing and directing.
He has gone on to play in places like Calvary Church in Charlotte, North Carolina, that used to be attended by famous NASCAR racer Dale Earnhardt, and the National City Christian Church in Washington, D.C.
I think I would share to someone that if they want to do music, go for it, because music is fulfilling and it's healing, and everybody has a struggle in life, and music is that one thing that we can all connect to. It's kind of a universal language that we can feel happy or sad or disappointed and find peace, and we can, speed down the highway and just have an escape. Music is really an escape in many ways.
Well, that's all for this week's Beyond the Breaches. For YBTV, I'm Jessica Fannin.
I'm actually a very experienced organ player. You'll be surprised. I can play Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Welcome back. I'm here with Heather, who will sing us 2 songs. Heather, take it away.
Thank you. This first song is a song I wrote, and it's called This Is Not a Love Song. Sick and tired of the disrespect coming from your mouth. It's right now I'm feeling like I should just head south. So no one knows how to treat a girl right anymore. I hope you know for sure. This is not a love song. Think you got it all wrong. Why can't we be friends? This is not pretend. Open up your eyes and see. Not just a Barbie doll, someone you can call. 'Cause you're getting bored and lonely. Don't put the blame on me. This is not a love song. Oh, this is not a love song. Don't keep coming back, knocking at my door. Looks like you are not welcome here anymore. My priority is on someone who will love me just for who I am. This is not a love song. Think you got it all wrong. Why can't we be friends? This is not pretend. Open up your eyes and see. Not just a Barbie doll, someone you can call. 'Cause you're getting bored and lonely. Don't put the blame on me. This is not a love song. Oh, this is not a love song. Not a love song. You got it all wrong. Not a love song. You got it all wrong. Someday the one is gonna come knocking at my door, and I'll know for sure. This is a love song. You don't have it all wrong. Can we be more than friends? Love me to the end. I'll take your eyes off me. You're everything I want and more. I know for sure that you treat me right. The future looks bright. You're the right one for my life. This is a love song. Oh, this is a love song. This is a love song. Oh, this is a love song. The next song I'll be singing is called Champion, and it's one of my favorite worship songs. I've tried so hard to see it. Took me so long to believe it. That you choose someone like me to carry your victory. Perfection could never has given me. When I open up my mouth, miracles start breaking out. I have the authority Jesus has given me. You are my champion. Giants fall when you stand undefeated. Every battle you won. I am who you say I am. You crown me with confidence. I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated, with the one who has conquered it all.
Wow, just wow. That was absolutely breathtaking. Thank you so much, Heather. And don't go away. We'll be right back with YBTV after this break.
A student would want to study the finance major here at Messiah for several reasons. Students here are working and practicing in a setting in our finance lab with technology that they're going to use when they leave here and work in the field. And so our students are certified in Bloomberg. In addition, in several classes, our students are actually performing consulting projects with local financial and investing firms.
I think the biggest thing that surprised me about coming for the finance major here was just the scope that you get in all the different classes. So anything from corporate finance to portfolio management and security analysis, you touch on everything. Getting into investment club was something I really was looking forward to coming here to Messiah. I knew from very early on I wanted to get involved.
There's nothing wrong with going out, being successful, making money, but not allowing money to have a higher place in your life than God. So our goal is to get our students started off on their career path quicker and better positioned than any of their peers.
Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Forests bring people together, feed the soul, and improve our well-being. Cleaning the water we need, the air we breathe, and making our climate livable. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests each year. That's why the Arbor Day Foundation is working to replant millions of trees across the country. Visit arborday.org and see how you can help.
Back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Charlie Jones, and I'm here with Heather Woolslagel. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
That's great to hear. I'm doing fantastic, can't complain. Alrighty, so let's get right into it. What made you choose these two songs in particular?
Well, the first song is a song I wrote. It came out last March, and so it means a lot to me because it came from me. I was able to write it and record it, and it was just like a really good experience for me. So, and then the second song is one of my favorite worship songs. So I thought that would be a great one to use because it means so much to me, and I just feel like I always go back to that song when I worship.
That's amazing. And it's so incredible that you actually wrote the first song yourself. So could you tell us what inspired those lyrics?
Yeah, well, I was listening to the radio and I just noticed that there are so many songs that are love songs. And I was just kind of like tired of hearing the same old love song. So I thought, maybe I'll just make the opposite of a love song. And so I came up with This Is Not a Love Song. And then it turned into like the ending turning into a love song. So.
Fantastic. And I mean, hey, it may not be a love song, but I sure loved it. So what was it like performing songs that you wrote for live TV?
It was amazing. It was an amazing experience because those songs just mean so much to me that it's really a cool experience to just be able to share it with people.
Wonderful. And speaking of cool experiences, I heard that this summer you got to travel with 7 Second Summer. Is that correct? Or Summer 7, sorry.
Yeah, it's called Summer 7, yes.
So could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so this summer I had the opportunity to travel around with Summer 7. We stayed on campus all summer when we weren't traveling. So it's a traveling worship band, and we got to minister to youth at a lot of camps. We also went to churches and conferences of a bunch of different denominations, and it was just a really cool experience to be able to experience it with the same people too. It was really cool to be able to get to know them over the summer, and we got really close. So
awesome. So I'm sure that you've got some brand new fans at home who are just dying to know. Do you have any upcoming performances?
Well, as of right now, I don't really, but you can find me on Powerhouse here on campus. You can find me on Worship Community. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be sure to come see you sometime.
Thank you.
So, are you working on any new songs or projects coming up?
I am working on a couple new songs, so stay tuned to see if they get recorded or not. It's a really fun process being able to write and being able to be creative within my major as well.
Amazing. And for those of us who are dying to hear more, where can we find your music?
Yeah, well, you can find it on all streaming platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, all of those.
Alrighty, well, I'll be sure to check it out. So, we're getting towards the end of our interview. Is there anything I missed that you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think you covered all of it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for being here, Heather.
Thank you.
And next up, we'll have Libby and Noah talking about their experience with Young Life right after this break.
I grew up creative, always drawing, Legos, played a ton of Legos from the time I could start putting them together. When I got into school, I thought I was going to be a painter, and then I thought I was going to be a graphic designer, but it wasn't until I took my first foundations of art class, 3D design, where I was carving a salt block, just a little carpenter chisel, and I stuck it underneath the water, and it kind of started deteriorating, and I loved it, and it felt comfortable, and it felt right, and that's when I realized that 3D is where I belong. Sculpture is what I needed to pursue. If you feel that passion in your belly, if you wake up and you gotta make something, if you grab the paper clip and you manipulate it into some form, or you're doodling in your sketchbook, or everything you do you see through a more creative side, then listen to that spirit talking in you and follow it. And for that young artist, it's hard and it's difficult, but you got to just keep on doing it. You got to just keep on doing it. You know, we were all there. We want to hang out with you. We want you to look over our shoulder and watch us cut this piece. Ask us that question. Don't be scared. Everybody has that starting point.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. Thank you so much to Libby and Noah for joining us tonight. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, can't complain. I am so excited to hear about your guys' experience with Young Life. So let's just jump right into it. So you two are both high school Young Life leaders, is that correct?
Yep. Yes.
So what kind of responsibilities does that entail?
Yeah, so we actually both lead for Carlisle High School. And our goal for being Young Life leaders is really just to show up at the school and to meet kids and form a relationship with them to the point where we have earned their respect to be heard, that we can tell them the gospel and just help them learn a little bit more about Jesus.
Yeah. We just get to become friends with them and, like you said, spread the gospel.
That's amazing. So what has it been like leading this semester for you guys?
It's been both really sweet and really challenging. I think something I learned was that ministry is not easy, and it was actually a really cool awakening for me, but it's really sweet because you get to run really hard after kids who don't know about Jesus, and while there's definitely rejections that come with it, the sweet reward of them hearing the gospel and having free access to eternity is just so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's just amazing. So what have been some highlights so far?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so for me, we do a lot of contact work, which is going to the school and getting to know our kids. And we just went to a football game this past Friday. And after the football game, me and my other co-leaders went out and took girls to Messino's in Carlisle. And it was really fun because afterwards we went to a church parking lot and our 15-year-old girls drove my car. And it was just the very scary experience, but very fun.
And we weren't actually at the camp that's on my sweatshirt, Lake Champion, this past summer, but our kids went to camp there, and just seeing people's like Instagram posts and stuff like that, and now them coming back and seeing that they're just like on fire for Jesus is like, it's the coolest thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it sounds like you guys are doing some truly inspired work, so thank you so much for that. Now, what does a typical meeting with Young Life look like?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that Young Life consists of. So I had kind of mentioned it, but we do contact work, which is where we go to the school, we show up, we meet kids, and we form relationships with them. And then we have club, which is an outreach event. And so the goal is to bring the furthest kid from Jesus to this club, and really not to create it like a youth group type thing, but just like hey, like, come and have fun. Like, I don't really know how to describe it to you, but we're just going to have fun together. And then we do campaigners, which is more of a Bible study based thing, and that's kind of just where we like really disciple our kids, help them know deeper about the Lord, when club's more of like hey, there's this guy named Jesus, let me tell you a little bit about him. So club consists of a lot of music, games, yeah, what else?
Just like going outside beforehand, playing basketball, spike ball, death hack, like just playing games, getting to know the kids, learning their names, because we want to be intentional and really like form relationships with them, not just be leaders to them, but also like be their friend.
That's wonderful. So, what's your 30-second pitch for our viewers at home to get them interested in joining Young Life?
Come to Mountain View Classroom on Monday nights at 9 p.m. to Young Life Beyond, and there Lauren and Sean will tell you guys all about it, and you can learn about it. It's non-committal. You don't have to commit to being a leader, but you can just come, experience the great fellowship, have cookies, because they have cookies every time, and just dive into scripture, learn what it is about Young Life.
Wow. Well, Young Life sounds pretty sweet, and so do those cookies. We're about to wrap up our interview today, but is there anything I may have missed that you guys would like to talk about?
Yeah, Young Life's really cool because like here at the school, it's a lot different than what we do when we go out to the schools. And I think when you come to Young Life at Messiah, you get to form a community that is kind of unlike anything else. And it was just a really sweet thing, something that I appreciated a lot last semester. And then with like, in terms of actually leading, we have a huge bonfire, our kickoff event this Friday, which we're super excited for and definitely hoping for a great turnout to meet some kids we've never seen before, never met, and just hoping seeds can be planted and they can start coming more frequently.
Wow, well, that's just incredible, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for talking about your experiences with Young Life. It sounds like a great time. Unfortunately, that's it for this week's episode of YB Tonight. Thanks for watching YBTV, and tune in next Monday at 7 for more. On behalf of myself and the entire YBTV crew, have an amazing week, Messiah University.